precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Catherine Pereira, read by Sabrina Zawahir. The headlines. Presidential election will determine country's success or failure, states President. Plans should be made to form the state universities as an income-generating venture. Oloville Port set for renovation. Sri Lanka optimistic as IMF board meets for second review today. Foreign Minister Ali Sabri engages in high-level talks with counterparts at BRICS Summit. Chairman of the National Child Protection Authority says that complaints regarding the child labour is being received daily. And in world news, 49 die after boat capsizes off Yemen. Now the local news in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the upcoming presidential election will determine the country's success or failure rather than personal victories or defeats, the president's media division reported. The head of state made this remark during a policy reform discussion held in Battaramulla this morning. During the event, the president was asked whether there will be anyone to take the lead in continuing the current program if he somehow loses the next election. In response to this, President Wickremesinghe said, "It is not my victory or defeat that will decide in this election. It will be decided whether the country will lose or not. We have currently negotiated with the International Monetary Fund and presented an economic program. To implement it, the Economic Transformation Bill has been brought. If it collapses, we will lose foreign exchange again. We will have to suffer in queues without medicines, petrol and gas." He further said that the political parties who are giving promises at the stage has no proper plan to take the country forward economically. He requested all not to take decisions considering their personal choices in election. Vice-Chancellor of the Colombo University, Senior Professor H.D. Karunaratne says that plans should be made to form the state universities as an income-generating venture. The necessary plans and rules in this regard should be provided to the universities. He also stated that the grants given by the government is not sufficient. He made these remarks at the Subarathi program of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation today. Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda underscored the commitment of the government to protecting and revitalizing Oloville Port, citing its significance for the advancement of the country. He commended the President's initiatives in resolving past congestion problems and reinstating regularity in civil life, declaring his support for the President's candidacy in the upcoming presidential election. Addressing a press briefing titled "Collective Path to a Stable Country," held yesterday at the Presidential Media Centre, Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda further said that today, stakeholders together with Port Authority, Navy officials, industry experts, local intellectuals and community representatives convened to deliberately on the restoration and reactivation of Oloville Port. Our focus is on preserving resources, enhancing port operations and addressing community needs. The objective is to harness the port's potential for national development. Urgency is paramount as we strive to expedite progress toward our objectives. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
Continuing local news, Sri Lanka State Minister of Finance Shehan Semasinghe says today marks a significant milestone for Sri Lanka's economy as the International Monetary Fund's Executive Board is scheduled to discuss the second review of the extended fund facility and Article 4 consultation. In a post on X, Sema Singh expressed that the government remains optimistic that international partners will continue to support Sri Lanka's efforts. He further highlighted that a favourable outcome from the review is expected to unlock the third tranche of approximately USD 330 million, which would further enhance confidence in our ongoing economic reforms and growth. Sri Lanka's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ali Sabri, who is currently in Russia to take part in the BRICS ministerial meeting, has met with the foreign ministers of Thailand, China, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Iran and Russia and discussed bilateral relations. That ends local news.
Elevate your life with People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Chairman of the National Child Protection Authority, Udayakumara Amarasinghe, says that complaints regarding the child labour is being received daily. However, he said that when comparing to other countries in the world, Sri Lanka is at a lower level of utilising children as labourers. According to the law in the country, it is prohibited of using children under the age of 16 years of age as child labour. He also stated that 186 complaints have been received last year. 56 such complaints have been received during the first 5 months of this year. All these complaints will be directed to the Labour Department. A 24-hour hotline, 1929, is open to inform such cases. That was main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, public health inspectors have issued an urgent warning to residents in flood-affected areas to be vigilant against the spread of several infectious diseases, including diarrhea and rat fever. The alert follows recent flooding in Colombo and various districts in the southern province, heightening the risk of disease outbreaks. President of the Public Health Inspectors Union, Upul Rohana, said the risk of diarrhea and leptospirosis is particularly high and there is a significant possibility of outbreaks. That came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Taking a look at the headlines of the world news, 49 die after boat capsizes off Yemen. Haiti forms new government as gang violence persists. Denmark recalls Korean ramen for being too spicy. Now the world news in detail. At least 49 people from the Horn of Africa have died after their boat capsized off the coast of Yemen, according to the UN's International Organization for Migration. Among the dead were 6 children and 31 women. Survivors told rescuers that the vessel carrying 260 migrants sank on Monday in strong winds. The search continues for 140 people who are still missing. The boat left Somalia on Sunday carrying 150 Somali nationals and 145 Ethiopians, part of a recent rise in migration from the Horn of Africa to Yemen, according to the IOM. A new government has been formed in Haiti as it tries to restore order in the violence-ravaged nation. The new cabinet completely replaces all the ministers from the government of the former Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who was forced to step down earlier this year by gangs which control large parts of Haiti. The announcement of the new cabinet comes 2 weeks after the country's Transitional Government Council appointed Gary Connell as interim Prime Minister. He will also take on the role of Interior Minister, according to the decree published in Haiti's official gazette. The formation of a cabinet in Haiti is a further sign of efforts to bring back some political stability to a nation wrecked by violence and uncertainty for many months. Denmark has recalled several spicy ramen noodle products by South Korean company Samyang, claiming that the capsaicin instant levels could poison consumers. 3 fiery flavors of the Samyang instant ramen line are being withdrawn. Denmark's food agency issued the recall and warning on Tuesday, urging consumers to abandon the product. It is unknown if any specific incidents have prompted the Danish authorities into taking action. With that, we conclude the world news. Prior to concluding, the headlines of the world news once again. 49 die after boat capsizes off Yemen. Haiti forms new government as gang violence persists. Denmark recalls Korean ramen for being too spicy. That ends world news.
Development news.
The governor of the Central Province, Lalit Yugamagas, says that the environmental education on the public should be increased in order to safeguard the environment. He made these remarks at the Nuwara District Coordinating Committee meeting. Attention has been paid on the development activities in the Nuwara district. That was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
Sports news first, it's cricket. The ICC T20 World Cup match between Nepal and Sri Lanka has been abandoned without a ball bowled. The match was abandoned due to rain. The Group D match was scheduled to be held at Lauderhill this morning. Accordingly, Sri Lanka's hopes for the ICC T20 World Cup are now officially ended with this move. More on sports news. The highly anticipated Battle of the Reef Festival is to take waves on the 27th of July at the shores of the Pegasus Reef. This inaugural event promises an exhilarating celebration of athleticism, camaraderie and entertainment, exclusively designed for corporate participants in Sri Lanka. The competition includes beach volleyball, tag rugby and tug of war. That ends sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Unilever Sri Lanka recently inaugurated a new 2.33 megawatt solar power project at its Horana factory, partnering with Abans Electricals plc for project execution with a total investment of 1.3 million euros. Minister of Electricity and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara, while congratulating the Unilever Sri Lanka team for initiating this rooftop solar mechanism in the Horana manufacturing facility, said this will help with the factory's power generation as well as contribute towards national targets of renewable energy. That was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Moving on to economic news. Samsung Sri Lanka has announced an exclusive offer on the Galaxy A05. Customers can now purchase the Galaxy A05 at an exclusive price. In addition, Samsung is introducing a unique screen replacement program for the Galaxy A05. The free offer provides a 12-month one-time screen replacement, a saving for customers. That was economic news.
Weather report.
Finally, we take a look at the weather report. Showers will occur at times in western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, are likely at some places in western and Sabaragamuwa provinces. Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in Uva province and Ampara, Batticaloa districts in the evening or night. Strong winds about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the Central Hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in Trincomalee, Hambantota and Munoragala districts. That was the weather report. Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. Presidential election will determine country's success or failure, states President. Plans should be made to form the state universities as an income-generating venture. Oluville Port set for renovation. Sri Lanka optimistic as IMF board meets for second review today. Foreign Minister Ali Sabri engages in high-level talks with counterparts at BRICS Summit. Chairman of the National Child Protection Authority says that complaints regarding the child labour is being received daily. With that, we conclude the news and over to my friend and certainly yours is all geared up to keep you entertained with a wonderful collection of music. Anu, over to you.